It's a pleasure for me to be here. I'm sure it's a pleasure for Mary to be here. The same, right, Mary?
Always, yes.
And we do have a special TBT. These are different times that we are living. We are living for a year now in these very special times. So in TBT, we would have the opportunity to get together, to hug each other, to talk to each other, to go on stage, to talk about products, and to really live the oriflame life that we so much are eager for. So we don't have the possibility to hug, to see, to touch each other, but we do have the possibility to connect with each other through the screen. And that's why this TBT is slightly different from previous editions that we had. So that's why we're not focusing on products. That's why I'm not focusing on some of the things. And we will straightforward focus on building your core team, building your activity, and building up your business. So we took the opportunity to bring up the selling system that for Oriflame, the SRPO. And this will be the theme for the whole tonight and 1 week from now. So we're doing plenty of trainings on Novage, every single catalog, and I hope you follow them. We're doing trainings on wellness, every single catalog, and I hope you follow them. You got news on proceuticals. We got Rachel Payne going on the practice community. So there's a lot that is going on, and so that's why we feel comfortable also in bringing up here SRPO, because it's just amazing. In my view, it's just amazing, and it's just a way that we can double our business, or each one of you can just start to do the right actions, the right activities, and just start doubling and increasing your own business. That's the whole purpose of the SRPO. And you want to say something else, Mary?
No, that's it. I think we just get on. We got more recognition next week than we have this week. That's the only other thing we should say.
Yes, thank you very much. So, guys, now you understood why sometimes I ask Mary, do you want to say something? It's because I know she won't forget what I forget. Okay, guys. So we will have a very good evening, I hope. And it's important to understand why you are here. We are currently 126 participants in this meeting, and this means by being here, you took the option to be here. You took the decision to be here. So that is, for me, a way to see that you want to achieve more, that you want to achieve your potential, because we are all able to do more and to reach more and to be more. So I would assume that you took the decision to become a future leader or a bigger leader, or if you didn't take that decision yet, maybe you're interested in finding out more and how to get more out of Oriflame, how to get more of this journey with us. So this is the full agenda for the 2 evenings that we'll spend together. We will talk a bit about Oriflame, of course. In any Oriflame meeting, we will talk about Oriflame and where we're coming from, and that we are founded in 1967. That's just a standard. We will then go through SRPO. We'll talk about core team, and then we'll also touch base on the recruitment part. And activating and developing, we will leave for the next week, and that's when we will bring in and then recognition and a bit more of success stories that we have this evening. So, are you ready to start? It would be lovely to see if you're ready. Can you chat me? I'm ready. 1, 2, 3. Oh, here we go.
I'm ready.
They're coming.
Ready.
Are coming. Love it.
I'm ready.
Yes. Love to hear that. Thank you so much. So we we should talk a bit about oriflame and what is oriflame and where are we standing. Some of you guys, you've been with us for 1 year, 2 years, 10 years, some of you 30 years, some like Mary Plum, 40 years last week. But some of you, you might be here for 1 month, 2 weeks, 1 week, 2 days. So basically, let's go through. It's important that we always start these meetings with our founders and where we come from. So we know these two lovely gentlemen. They are called Jonas and Robert Afjoknek. So Jonas is the gentleman on the blue coat, and he unfortunately passed away last year, if I remember correctly. But Robert is still with us, not very involved in the company, but look how young they were over 50 years ago. So just as a reminder, we were founded in 1967 in Stockholm, actually in the Grand Hotel in Stockholm, Sweden. And we've been using the social selling system since the start. Okay, social selling was quite different back in the day. So we were not talking about social selling on social media, but we were talking social selling about activating your social circles. We're talking about hostesses and demonstrations, basically. And from the start, we have this Swedish take on beauty. From the start, we are inspired by nature and we are powered by science. From the start, that's our core that never changed. And nowadays, 54 years later, we are again a family-owned company. We are owned by the Afjoknek family, but not only by Robert Afjoknek, but also by the descendants of both of the branches of the family. And we have built a community of over 3 million brand partners around the world. That is just amazing to see. And of course, everything starts, it's not only about the history, but it's also about our story. So who are we? Who is oriflame? So some of you might know, some of you might not know that we are in the business for more than 50 years, and we are experienced in guiding, supporting brand partners. We have amazing leaders across the world. We are present in over 60 countries around the world. So in Europe, Latin America, Asia, Africa, all around. We have a global community of over 3 million independent brand partners. So this is something to be proud of because it's a big community. And so the amount of questions and doubts, but also joy that you can share. There are 3 million people out there that know exactly the same, feel exactly the same like you. We have 1.2 units, 1.2 million oriflame products sold every single day worldwide. Would love if we would have 1.2 million in UK. We're a bit far, but who knows? Dream big. And we have raised since 2009. We have raised over 11 million euro. And this is a super important aspect of oriflame. Is not only we are here for the profit. We are here for a sustainable company, to be a sustainable and profitable company, but we are also here to give back to the community, to give back to those who need a bit more. And we have a strict policy on screening our raw materials, on ensuring that everything is sustainably sourced, safe to use, and high quality. So we are very proud to say that 100% of our cosmetics and wellness, they go through the highest criteria of quality and eco-ethical screening. We have a lot of things that are developed through fair trade chains, so that is also a very big part of us. So besides our story, our history, this is our story. These are 6 points that it's important to be out there. And Meg is mentioning that oriflame comes from the name Aurea Flama, meaning golden flame. Yes, it does. It comes actually. It's a nice story. I will diverge. Sorry, Mary. I will spend another 2 minutes here. Actually, when the founders were looking for a name, what friend of them came up with this story about this French king that would go to battle with a standard. I think you call it standard. How do you call it?
Banner. A banner.
A banner. Thank you very much. With a big banner that is blessed by I'm not sure the Pope, the Cardinal, whatever that used to say in the cathedral. Then they would come into battle with that golden flame, with that divine flame. So they felt that spirit of battle and fighting and winning and doing better for the world that was suitable for us. And I think they did a great choice. We just tweaked it a bit to oriflame. And of course, our approach to beauty is slightly different from many of our competitors in the market. So our approach to beauty is very much defined by our Swedish heritage. So we focus on the healthy lifestyle, because Beauty by Sweden is all about these three main pillars. So healthy lifestyle, because if you feel good, you will look good, because it's more than just skin deep. It's about feeling and being part of the present in a healthy way. It's about beautiful skin. And beautiful skin is about healthy, glowing, clean, and really, really nourished skin. It's about being able to go. The other day, I was watching a video of our skincare enthusiast, and she was saying, "Why would I hide myself behind makeup? I having the best skin. I will not hide myself." So if you're listening to me, I shed a tear for you in the end of that video, but really, it's about being beautiful skin and having a healthy looking skin for everybody. And of course, Beauty by Sweden is also about personal expression. It's also allowing everybody to really express themselves, express their uniqueness, express their creativity, express their moods they're feeling through makeup, through accessories, through those kinds of products. But as an underlying characteristic, let's call it, it's all about our sustainability. We have big goals. We have a long-term goal to become a fully sustainable company, and we work hard. We work really, really hard to develop and to produce safe and effective products that consider nature at every step. What does this mean? This means that during the sourcing phase, the manufacturing phase, the distribution phase, and the post-usage phase, all of those are taken into account. We have a long way to go, but we are very proud already for the path we have taken, for the goal that we have taken, and for many of the wonderful I would say milestones that we have achieved already. So about sustainability, I would just like you to take 3 minutes, and hope the video is not as jumpy as the previous one. So I just hope you take 3 minutes just to share this.
Because we're from Sweden, nature holds a special place in our hearts. It's part of who we are and how we live. It's where we go to re-energize, reconnect. Nature inspires us to create the beauty products we love. But nature is... Because we're from Sweden, nature holds a special place in our hearts. It's part of who we are and how we live. It's where we go to re-energize and reconnect. Nature inspires us to create the beauty products we love. But nature is precious, so we need to protect it. We want future generations to enjoy it as much as we do before it's too late. That's why we're doing everything we can to rethink and redo how we make our products. We use 100% green, renewable electricity and protect and plant millions of trees each year. 100% of our paper and cardboard packaging is sustainably sourced. And we're creating more water-friendly, biodegradable beauty products. We've come a long way. Our own manufacturing is already climate neutral. We're not done yet. We're determined to make an even greater difference and become fully sustainable. Let's be part of the solution for a better, more beautiful tomorrow.
Yeah, that's it. I'm reading the comments on the chat, so I fully agree with you guys. And if you have not tried the shampoo bar, that you can get on demo products, do it now. Get your demo product right now, please. And stop using the big bottles. Oh, sorry. Yes, that's how. So during this presentation, we will stop sometimes, okay? And we want you to, good Charlotte, we want you to get involved. So I would love to ask you some questions, and then you can share on the chat. Sounds good? I will assume it does. So the question is, where was oriflame founded, guys? There you go. 67 Sweden, Grand Hotel, Stockholm, Sweden, Stockholm, 67, Stockholm. All of you got the right answer. None of you said Lisbon or Dublin, so all of you got a good one. It was in 1967 in Stockholm, Sweden, in the Grand Hotel, as some of you said. And now the question is, what are the three main components of Beauty by Sweden? This one takes a bit more to type, a bit longer to type. Healthy lifestyle, I can see one. Beautiful skin and personal expression. That is perfectly correct. It's exactly that. It's about healthy lifestyle. It's about taking care of our bodies, taking care of our mind, taking care of ourselves. It's about beautiful skin to make it healthy, glowing, disease-free, and it's about the personal expression. That is absolutely correct. So happy with you guys, you've been listening. And now, trick question, how many markets is oriflame represented in? Yes, 60 plus. That's the official. The official denomination is exactly 60 plus, more than 60 countries around the world. That's exactly it. Thank you very much, guys. We will do this. Otherwise, me and Mary, we were talking when we were preparing this presentation, and we were like, we have to get some interaction. Otherwise, we won't be able to do it, all this. Thank you, everybody. It's exactly that. I wanted to talk now a bit about oriflame, because oriflame is about the products, it's about the healthy lifestyle and Beauty by Sweden, but oriflame is very, very much also about the business opportunity. Because the business opportunity is also one of the main ways, if not the main way, to give back to society. Because the way that we build our business, we're not selling through stores, we're not selling through, well, we sell through our website, but through our brand partners. So that's also giving parts of, a big part actually, of the income that we have on the sales, through commissions, through discount. That's a major part of oriflame giving back to the society for sure. So the question is, what motivates you to be here? And we always talk about the motivation, and we always talk about what is your motivation. And it's important to know, because life will take us to places. I had a friend that used to use this sentence that if you don't know what you want, chaos will take care of it. Of course, chaos will take care of it. We'll get somewhere. It's like a boat without a steering wheel. It will get somewhere. We don't know where it will get, but it will get somewhere. But now the motivation is the part that will get us to where we want. So it's important to understand what's behind what we're doing. So behind every successful brand partner, there is a motivation, and it's your own personal reason. And maybe you started because you wanted to enjoy the products, and then you want to get some extra money, and then you want to go to Dubai. And that's how things work. We change and evolve during the time. But it's important to really understand, to start understanding, why is oriflame? Why is being here? Why is being at, what time is it, 6:30 in the afternoon with another 148 people in this call? Why is this important for me, So it's important that you know this motivation, that you know what you want to achieve with oriflame. So because that's the motivation, that will be the one that will be fueling the whole way. It's just, it will keep you, help you to keep focused, to get motivated, to look at obstacles not like dead ends, but to look at obstacles like learning opportunities. That's what they are. A no is many times a tell me more. A no is many times a learning opportunity to get those yeses back in a couple of days. So that's why it's important. That's why you should write it down on a piece of paper, stick it on your bathroom mirror, and that's why you should, if you haven't, you should fill it up on mobile office and on my pages. So every time that you log in our oriflame website, you'll see yourself, you'll see your name, and you'll see our motivation. That's why it's there, to remind you of what you're looking for. So it's important that we always know what are we striving for. That is super, super important. So talking a bit about what we're going to talk about, there are three key elements of this business opportunity in oriflame. So if I talk about business opportunity, most of you will think success plan, and that's it. That's the way I get my money. That's the way I get my discount. That's the way I get travel. But the business opportunity in oriflame, it's not only about the money. Of course, success plan is important. And success plan is the way that you will be rewarded. That's the success plan is the way that you will be earning commissions, you will be earning discounts, you will be earning on your VIPs. And it's super important that you make it a live document. So if you don't open it up, it's just another book on the shelf. If you don't know what's in there, you cannot really strive and look forward for something more. So it's really it should be a working, living booklet where you find out where to go, what to do to get there, and how to achieve it, basically. And then, but it's important to know where you want to go. And then the why, how to get there, is the SRPO. So SRPO is basically the system to follow. It's basically what are the activities that I should be doing. Of course, each person it's their own person. Each of you is an independent brand partner, and you will take your business the way it suits you best. But SRPO has been developed with leaders from very successful markets, very successful leaders. So it's also important that we acknowledge that there's this knowledge there that can bring you forward. And then the Oriflame Academy is the training system that will be based on SRPO, on the activities that each brand partner will be doing there, and that is linked then to the success plan. So business opportunity is not only about the money, but it's also how to get there and how to train. Because the Oriflame success plan has 15 different titles with different earnings, of course, different benefits. The higher you climb, the better the benefits. It gives you a possibility to travel to conferences, to go around the world. We just launched Dubai, in case you haven't heard. It's also an opportunity for recognition on your achievements, and it will provide you with advancement bonus cash awards that start at £100, and go all the way to 100,000. So we haven't given out the 100,000 pound check, but I bet there are a couple of people in this call that would love to, right? So it's there. And the success plan, the beauty of the success plan is that it's the same for everybody. There is plenty of room to grow, but it's the same for everybody. It doesn't matter if you joined 30 years ago, 2 days ago, or last week. It's the same, and that if you do it, you will get it. It's no questions asked, because that's also one of the parts of being oriflame. So besides talking about oriflame, besides the story of oriflame, it's also important to hear personal story and some of the people who are doing very well in oriflame. So I would love to congratulate, and please congratulate them on the chat, our newest gold directors that closed their title last catalog on catalog 5. So we have Miss Jackie McCormick, that is, I know she's on the call. She was promoted by Clara and Chris Kinsella. We have Gary Zwolonski. That took, if I remember correctly, 130 days to get to Gold Director. So amazing journey, Gary, promoted by Luba White. And Sue and Jeff Burris that were promoted by Director Jill Nicholson. So huge congratulations to each of them. Each of them promoted a director under them. So each of these three of these people on your screen, each one of them is also the example of some of the things that we are talking today, how to duplicate your business, how to grow other people. But more than listening to me, I would love you to listen from one of these new gold directors. And she's here basically to share her story and to share a couple of slides with you and her view on this journey to Gold Director. So please be very welcome to the stage, Miss Jackie McCormick.
Thank you very much, Mary. Thank you, Mary.
And feel free to tell me to click the slides away.
No, that's fine. That's okay. We'll keep them on. I will let you know when to click next then. So thank you very much. And the slides that you shared earlier about the motivation, a lot of those things on that slide, like the holidays and the cash awards, they're part of my motivation for building a business as well, as including it's not just money, it's also about the community, it's about the friends that you make, and the Oriflame team that we're in are more family rather than friends now. So that is a huge motivation for me personally. So I'll tell you a little bit about myself very quickly. So I'm 51, I live in Scotland with my husband. I do the business now full time and absolutely love it. So we started from scratch nearly 3 years ago when we came over from another business. And again, we had to start from scratch. We had a few customers that we brought over with us, but we've built the business up slowly from then. We went director in C16 2019, and we dropped as soon as we hit director. We dropped, but then again, last year after lockdown started, we got back to director, and we continued to grow slowly since then. So if you want to click next, June, we'll start my slides as well for you. So what I wanted to just go through is do what it takes, really. If you want to, whatever goal you have, whatever you want to achieve, you just have to do what it takes. And one of those things is to be ambitious and determined. If you want something badly enough, you are ambitious, and you need to be determined to get there with consistency and being persistent and just making that decision that you are going to do what it takes to get to your goal. And next, really. And this is something that is me. I am purely focused on building my business, and I'm kind of obsessed. I eat, sleep, and breathe oriflame. I absolutely love everything. I love recruiting. I love to promote products. I love helping my team. And I just love having fun with my customers, and they are kind of addicted to my lives like I'm addicted to oriflame. Do you want to click next for me, Rui? One of the top tips is always be there for your team. The good thing about being full-time is that I'm always there. Anybody sends me a message, I'm there to give them the answer. I'm there to help them, and anything they ask me for, I'll do whatever I can to help them with. And this is a big tip for me because I've been director for over a year now, nearly a year, as paid as, and building wide for security means just having lots and lots of team members. So I'm not relying on any one particular team member. A really good saying is that I've learnt this from years ago from Jackie White is value everyone but rely on no one. So if I wanted to achieve something, I wouldn't rely on my team to be able to achieve that. I work and work and work to get the incentives and those kind of things. So yeah, like I said, I love what I do. I love to recruit, love to promote, and just there's another saying that when you get into the business, you'll start working it, but when the business gets into you, you absolutely love it. And the next bit there is something that happens to everyone. I'm going to say be prepared for the squiggle. No matter how long you've been in the business, no matter how much success you've had at the beginning or where you are at the beginning, if you're just building up slowly or if you've built up and you've dropped back down again, the next slide is going to show you what is the squiggle. Okay, so basically this is something where you go up and down and you go up and down and you go up and down, and that is nearly in every walk of life. There's always an up and there's always a down. So like I said earlier, in 2019 we went director, but we dropped again until campaign 17 2020. But I didn't give up. That's the thing, that you keep going, you keep being consistent, and if you've got that belief of what you want to achieve, you will get there. And the last slide that we've got there for Rui is something that I've kind of gone by for a lot of years now in the last business as well, is a quote from Tony Robbins, and the secret to wealth is simple: find a way to do more for others than anyone else does. Become more valuable, do more, give more, be more, serve more, and you will have the opportunity to earn more. And that has always served me very well in the last business and this one as well. So thank you very much.
That's brilliant. Thank you so much, Jackie. Thank you so much, Jackie. That is amazing, amazing testimonial. Please share your love with Jackie on the chat, but also share a different thing, because Jackie was talking about the squiggle and don't give up. And where do you see yourselves? So each one of you guys back at home, where do you see yourselves? What is the title that you envision for yourself during 2021? So I would love to hear how many gold directors, how many diamonds, how many team managers, how many directors or future directors am I looking at, as we need to do some budgeting. So what is the target that you want to go for? So we have top of sales awards coming up. We have gold director, we have director, we have team manager, and maybe some others are coming. Here we go.
SPD.
And we have Dubai. We have diamond director for 2022, Jackie. I took a note of that. That is brilliant. That is brilliant. And I do hope that by the end of...
And he's gone. Again. I think I might just share the slides from my side. Might be easier. There we go. Can you see my slides there?
Yes, we can.
Fab. I'll just do that one. It's coming back in. I'll pick that one. Rui, I'll share my screen.
Oh, that was fun. Yes, please do. Please do. So as I was saying, maybe my connection is a bit worse. I'm now on a browser connection. So our goal is not about giving the title or this or that. Our goal is to making you believe and giving you the skills or some of the skills to take you there. Because only you can make it happen, because only your motivation, only your drive can make it happen, basically. So next slide, please. Yes, and that is the conclusion of the S-Sarpio bits. I'll hand over to you, Mary, right?
You do. So basically, this is the S-Sarpio bits. So this is just going to...
Aha, this is the S-Sarpio bit.
This is a little bit more about a close look at Sarpio, what it is and why we use it. So basically, in S-Sarpio, it's Oriflame's unique system, and it's got something there for every single level of brand partner. It doesn't matter if you're a brand partner that started yesterday that just wants to do basic things, or you're a double diamond director who wants to become a senior president director, and it's got something in it for you too. So for every level in between. So basically, it's important to have a system that brings results and it's easy to understand. And most of all, you need a system that's easy to duplicate. Not enough, as it says here, to have something that works. It's got to be repeatable. It's got to be something that everybody can be taught to do. So if you don't think that, then it doesn't work. It doesn't carry on further down. But there's something in here that everybody can do and everyone can teach. So basically, you learn it, then you do it, and you teach it. And it just follows that all the way around. So Sarpio, what does Sarpio stand for? Well, Rui mentioned it earlier. And it's social sales and recruitment processes in Oriflame. And basically, this is it's taught through the Oriflame Academy, as Rui said, and the Oriflame Academy is huge. And we're going to you've seen some of it already. There's various things that you've actually seen that are actually already part of the Academy. And as we go through the coming months, you'll see far more of the Oriflame Academy. You come through the whole Sarpio journey with us as well. Unique to Oriflame, and it's been proven. It's been proven in many, many countries all around the Oriflame world that it works. So what makes up Sarpio? How did it come to be here? What it will do for anyone that chooses to join that journey of the Sarpio, it will give you a proven skill set to be able to succeed. So it will teach you what you need to know. It will help the actions and the activities you've got to do. It will take you on a journey with your leader along there to actually fulfill what you want to fulfill, to get to the level that you want to get through. It has taken 15 years of development to get to this level, and it's the expertise of thousands of Oriflame leaders all over the world, successful leaders, as well as having input from external experts. So it's not some jumble of things. It's a massive, massive training program that can take you through all various levels, whether it's product knowledge, growth knowledge, leadership knowledge, getting right up to mentorship knowledge and what have you. The most important part, and this will get mentioned over and over again, is that it can be duplicated. Everybody can do it. So basically you learn it, you do it, and then you teach it from there. And of course it's focused on results, and it's supported by all of our tools, and everything else in here can be done on either social media or face-to-face. Okay, so this is the most important part of it. It's duplicatable. So in here, you will see how we put the things together, how it all passes on. So from here, you're now coming into my two most favourite slides of the entire 2 weeks, okay, from this one here. So many things are systems. It's all made up of various parts, but without all the various parts, the whole thing does not work. So imagine it works in so many different things in life. So imagine baking. You're baking a cake. Cake is the perfect thing you want to. You would never dream of taking all the little things that make up a cake and thinking, I know, to save time, I'll just eat them as they are. You know, you take the flour and you eat the flour, you eat the eggs. You would never do that because one, it would be disgusting, and two, it wouldn't be a cake. You have to go through the process of putting it all together, baking it, and there you get your cake. So many other things work that way. Houses work that way. You need the foundations, you need the cement, you need the bricks, etc. Your body works like that. You need all the different things in your body to function together to make you actually operate. And of course, a bicycle is exactly like that. So when you have a bicycle, you have to have the frame to put everything else into. You need the cog set in the chain, the things that actually push the things around eventually. The handlebars, so you can actually steer it in the right direction. Of course, the pedals are what transfer the energy into making it actually go. And of course, the wheels, because all those other things, without wheels, it will not go. But once you have those, the bike will begin to move. And that's exactly the same with XRPO. It's a system with individual elements that go together to actually begin the process. So these elements are the activities, the things you're actually going to do to actually process in there. These are things like inviting and sharing and engaging with people. You have your roles, and these roles are things that are who is going to do what, understanding where your place is, what your responsibility is in that journey. The tools, these are things like the catalogues and the apps and the incentives. And once they go in, they help to put some energy into everything else as well. Of course, the methods, that is how you do it, whether it's online or whether it's offline. It's all other different methods that you'll use to get into there. And of course, the communication. This is where you make sure that everybody knows everything they need to know. And that is the most important part. And once you have all these things, the oriflame bike can begin to take you on your journey into wherever you want to go, through whatever way you want to go to there. So, just to show you the power of this, 70% of successful leaders work with the principles of SRPO. That is in all the markets in the oriflame world. That is a huge part. If you've ever seen a top global 15 or something like that, you will know how many massive successful leaders we have in this country, in Western Europe, in Central Europe and worldwide. It's massive, and it is a proven example of how to get through. So how does it work? It's not just on an individual basis. This is on a community basis. This is your team will take the journey. You will take the journey as part of a team, and every individual will have part of it. And it's all about sharing knowledge and doing it together, doing it as a part of the community. Because different people in your community will all want different things at different times. So therefore, there's different stages, and they can jump in and jump out as they see fit. And as you go through this, everything you see will match what we start our success plan with. When you first come into oriflame, one of the first things you see is what you do first, and it's recommend, if you're joining as a brand partner, to sell or to share just for your discounts and what have you, onto team building for those that want to focus on the business building side and start selling and actively inviting other brand partners, onto mentoring and actually becoming a leader and developing other leaders. So everything that happens in SRPO still follows these principles. So going on from that, so how does the whole process work? So basically you start off with your customers, your family, your colleagues, your friends, and your family of friends, depending on how your customer base works. And from that, some people will become brand partners and they'll join in there. And their job is to learn to share. Here, this is where you teach the brand partners to share. Basically, they share their products, knowledge, they share their catalogues, they share the offers, and eventually they'll share their story as they begin to get one, the story of why they joined oriflame, what products they love best, and so forth. They'll learn to invite. They'll learn to invite other people to buy or to join oriflame. They'll learn to invite people to events that are held by their leaders, whether that's a Scandi Beauty event or whether it's an opportunity Zoom, whatever it is, they'll learn to bring people into these events as well. And they'll learn to expand their contact list. When you're a new brand partner, that's the thing you're doing every single day, is adding names to your contact list. And they also engage, and they'll engage with their customers, their oriflame community, and the greater oriflame beauty community in our Facebook pages, etc. And of course, through all of that, when they're just beginning, they'll go through the launch pad, and hopefully they'll make the very best of the first 90-day programs that are in place for them. But out of all of these, there will be people who want more. It's on average about 10% of people want to go that little bit further and they want to take that next step in their journey through oriflame. So this is it. This is where they'll go into starting to be joined with the core team. And from that, core team members will build up and they'll get extra support from their manager to build into something else. They'll learn new skills with their manager, and those 10% will come into that core team. It doesn't exclude any other brand partners. They'll still work with all the other brand partners, but they will be taken on that next journey to become a leader. They'll complement each other's skills. They're there to build each other up, to make each other feel great, and to teach each other the other skills. Everybody's good at something, and everyone can share their particular skill with somebody else, and that's where a core team begins. With a core team, the thing is they start to help the other brand partners as well as each other. So the idea of a core team with a leader will do a couple of events a week, and they can be simple things, anything they like to, but the events could be the oriflame opportunity discovery, the skincare discovery, the wellness discovery, and the colour discovery. And I think there's a fragrance discovery as well. And all of these, sometimes you've seen some versions of these are all available already, and they're like just general events and so forth, but they're all part of the discovery journey that people can introduce and repeat to make sure all their brand partners have as much knowledge on product as possible, and from that building product into business. So this is it. So there's where the core team, the select group of people that want to grow, that 10% who actually want to do it, will then become responsible for doing that, to share their own stories, to share their knowledge, to share their events, to accompany the other brand partners and each other on a journey to becoming better people, to be part of the whole SARPIO journey to go through, to participate in events, to actually start off simply and gradually become bigger and do more in these events and more in the whole journey of recruitment and so forth. To accept the responsibility, there are roles within a core team as well. So to accept those roles, because that way you learn to grow, and that way you actually become a better person, better at recruiting, better at selling, and better at developing people. And therefore you will grow further and further in the success plan. And as that core team grows, as you go through the SARPIO training, they will move out and they'll start to do core teams of their own. And you will eventually, if that's the journey you choose to take, fulfill your own core team. And that is the beauty of duplication. Duplication can begin from one brand partner introducing another brand partner and sharing what they know. But when it's done on the level of people who want to lead and bringing those brand partners on themselves, they produce whole teams. And that's where the magic happens. That's where those people producing other teams and other core teams from within core teams makes a massive difference. And from there, managers and directors form manager teams, and from that, bigger teams will grow. So you actually end up with manager responsibilities that will help their core teams and their brand partners below recruit VIP customers and brand partners, help them host and run events. So it starts off with small things. It becomes a multiple effect all the way through. They activate the new brand partners. Everybody in that team, where it's got a core team involved, will make sure that every single brand partner gets the best possible start, that they always have all of the information, that they can participate in the events and so forth, so that every opportunity is open to everybody. Because there's nothing worse than finding a person that didn't know, that missed out on something and so forth. So it's this core team and this whole duplication that makes sure that everybody has the same doors open. They may or may not choose to come through them, but they do all have exactly the same opportunity. And from there, they can develop themselves into their own leaders, and they can build more and more leaders and more events and more trainings. So it just becomes this great mass of energy that's moving forward all of the time. And that's where it leads into the same places as starting the recommended team builder and the mentoring. So you start off with the oriflame brand partners, and they're sharing, inviting and engaging. From that, the 10% will move up and they'll become the core team. And those core teams will hold their events and they'll work with each other to build the other brand partners up and to build each other up and to help each other build bigger teams. And gradually you move up in through the team building into the manager teams that are led by directors, and their job is to recruit, activate and develop. And as they do that, they'll develop into their own leaders. And each person who wishes to, and like Jackie said, puts that passion in and she just keeps going until you do it at the very end and so forth, and then keep going past that, will become that leader, that mentor, that person that's got that team of directors underneath them. So we have another little quiz just to make sure you're hanging on in there with us. So what are the basic roles of brand partners? Just the three basic things that we ask for a brand partner to do when they start. I've moved all my pictures around so I can't actually see the chat, but never mind. So therefore, the roles and responsibilities of a brand partner are share, invite, and engage. And that's the simplest thing that everybody should teach a brand partner to do, because if they can do these basic things, that's where duplication begins. Okay, what does SRPO stand for? We only mentioned it about 15 times, I think, between Marie and I since we started, so. Social selling and recruitment processes in oriflame. Perfect, absolutely perfect.
I also love Sharon's duplicate.
Duplicate. That's it. If you remember one word from this, remember duplicate. And list the main benefits of SRPO. What's the biggest thing it does? And I think Sharon already had it. It duplicates. It's everything here, everything we do, and everything you see over the months. And this is just an introduction to an overview. Is duplicatable if you want to. Carry on from there. So that was the rough introduction to SRPO, and now it's just a bit more about what is a core team. So, what is a core team? What does it mean to be in a core team? So the first thing to do when you become a manager is to form your own core team. Now, what is a manager level? A manager level is going to be looking for a core team. It depends on the amount of people in your team. You can become a team manager with 2 people. You could be a team manager with 10 people. 2 people, less likely to form a core team. 10 people, you're in the beginnings of a core team. So it would depend on where you are. But between senior team manager and director level is where we think you would start probably to build your own, begin your own core team, to begin that team of leaders that are going to actually do the events and the trainings and the things for the other brand partners. So actively search for core members in your team. Or actually, could you be a core member for somebody else's team? That is also a very important part, because there's so many of you out there. You could be that person that desperately wants to be part of that team that learns how to do events, that actually learns how to do the recruitment, that comes on that basis. And it's a privilege to be in a core team, but it's even more so to be the manager that's putting one together. So if you are either that person or looking for that person, be the person that wants to be spotted. So the manager should be looking for the community for potential core team members, that person that wants to do something, that person that always turns up. And reach out to all new recruits and tell them about the opportunities. The core team is there, because if they don't know it's there, they're not going to even want to aspire to actually join it and be part and parcel and go through the learning. So reach out and let everybody know that it exists. Because within your community, this is you. 80% of your team, doesn't matter where you are, in general this works pretty much worldwide. 80% of your people, so 8 out of 10 of your people, are there happily for the discount and for friends and family. They're lovely and they make up such a great part of your business, but they're at 80% of those people, and you won't persuade those to do anything else but that, because that's where they're happy at this moment in time. 10% of your team are going to be sellers, and really good sellers, and these will actually be a very big part of your BP. So they're super important to you, but they love selling, and they're generally really, really good at it. And they're motivated by different things. They're motivated by free BP offers, for instance, that we have at the moment, but sort of sales awards and so forth. So they're activated by that. But also from that, there'll be your 10% potential leads and potential leaders and what have you. So how do you decide who you dedicate your time to? Who do you dedicate your time to? And is it just one? Because they all need you. In one way, shape or form, they absolutely all need a bit of you. And they deserve a bit of you, because they're processing, they're part of your team. They're making up your business. So it's then the case of how do you segment them? And this is what the core team does. It takes your buyers And you're not going to talk to your buyers about holding an event and doing a presentation and recruiting 6 people, because they don't care. They really don't want to know about that. So you don't need to bother them with that. But then your potential leaders don't need to know that such and such is going to have an extra 10% on Thursday, because they're more interested in bringing in more people that will be interested in having the next extra 10% off of mascara on Thursday. So therefore, it's how you communicate to these people, your buyers, your sellers, and your potential leaders. And don't try and wash everybody with the same piece of communication every single time. And those 90% of people on the left-hand part of the screen are not your core team members, but the 10% on the other side are your core team members. There we go. So how do you find new potential leaders? Once you've got to those 8 out of 10 that aren't going to do it because they're buyers, the 1 person in 10 that isn't going to do it because they're a seller, and you've got 1 person there. There is sadly only one way. You and your team, your core team and your brand partners must continually recruit, introduce new people constantly to feed into those brand partners, whether they're going to be part of the 80% or the 10%. You need new people every single time. And that means the whole team, not just you, not just your core team, introducing people, inviting people along to the events, inviting people along to come and see a beauty event or an opportunity event. To actually get new people in all the time is the most important. So if you're actively searching for people, don't just limit it for your core team. Don't just look at the people that you recruited, that you personally invited in there, or that somebody you know that think would be good if they came to oriflame and they could be part of the team. It doesn't need to be a mate's game at all. You need to deep dive into the people below them and look for the people that are coming through them, people with potential and the people with promising results. So you need to actually be down there and talking to them, understanding their potential, understanding if they want to do something more. Look at their results. Do they work every single catalogue? Do they always do over 100 BPs? They turn up at every event. Are they always there to support their friends? Do they always bring somebody else along? These are the people that you want to be looking at, want to actually do something else because they're actively engaged with the business. And again, never miss a chance to share the opportunity with somebody who can become a future leader. Never prejudge. You don't know who the next person's going to be, and it will always be a surprise. So if you were on the Zoom last week, you will have seen this with Rui before. So this is just a quick onto there. So in your team, who do you have that's worth looking to? There's Eva, who always refuses to place an order unless you invite her to the core team. There's Carol, lovely Carol. She's been around for years, but she's just going to stay there being Carol, beautifully so. There's Anna. She's not an experienced partner. She's only been here a little while, but she's got so much potential and she looks like she's willing. Ben, who's always there, totally reliable Ben, always helping out. Lovely Alice. She talks a lot, but then again, she's never there. She never turns up. Sarah, she's interested in business and she always actively invites people along to the training and she always helps out. Tom, we would love Tom. We would love Tom to be in that team. But Tom joined because his mum liked the product and he doesn't mind the discount. And he is just happy doing that. And there's Michael. Michael is fabulous. He follows you and he's always on time. He always turns up. So from that, that's how you choose your core team. If you've got a group of people you're not too sure, write down, be honest, don't be too harsh, don't be over-opinionated, but write down exactly what they do, what they are, and from that it will start to make it far clearer who is likely to come with you on this journey. And your core team will constantly change, always, for great reasons. For great reasons is that people go on to achieve that they want to do, and they'll be building their own core team and come away from yours. Other people, life happens. You know, there'll be reasons that they need to step down. They're just figuring out it's not for them. It might not be for them right now. Or they've moved away, or something else happens in life. Because it does, and it always will do. So you need to be constantly feeding your recruiting base to feed your core team. So you've always got new energy coming in. You've always got new people to look forward to. Those new people, if it's not them, they'll be introducing new people. They'll be bringing other people along by invitation. Of course, you have to have benefits from yourself from being in the core team. So what would you get if you joined the core team? You would get coaching, not just by your direct manager, but from other managers you saw from before. There's a layer of leaders that are all going to be there helping to move the greater oriflame community into a better place. You'll be able to follow it through because you'll have your clear goals that you want to know, and you'll know how to put plans and actions in place to follow it through. You'll develop and practice new skills. There's lots of new skills you can learn through this. You'll be part of a teamwork and supportive community. You're there to build each other up. It's not a race. You can all arrive when it's your time to arrive. And from that, as you build up, you'll learn how to manage your own core team. You'll build your own people. Your own people will come with it, and you'll get more energy, and gradually you'll go faster and faster, and you'll go further and further in the success plan. So, what does a core person actually have to do? They have to share. They do everything else that is the same oriflame principles remain. You just do more of them and more often. That is pretty much it. So basically you share inspiring stories and content online or face-to-face, depending which situation in there. You talk to more people every single day about oriflame, whether it be on product, whether on opportunity, you just talk to them. You bring people along. This is the whole idea of things, is rather than talking to the same basis, every time you do an event, there should always be at least one new person there, always, from wherever, whether it's for you or your brand partner. So if you get into the habit of bringing somebody new along all the time, other people will do exactly the same. It's also making sure that all the new people that join oriflame get the best possible opportunity. So you start them off on the launch pad, you make sure they get every benefit of the first 90 days together. They participate actively in all events and trainings, develop your own skills and to help other people develop theirs. And you accept the roles and responsibilities. You can't come into a core team saying the only thing you want to do is make the pretty slides, because that's not how it works. Everybody has to do something. And getting out of your comfort zone is a big part of being in the core team. It's basically taking you from where you are to that person you want to be. So you've got to step outside and do something that is not your happy place on the first time, and you might find it becomes your big happy place. And from that, you grow. You go gradually and further into the success plan. And this is another great quote here. If you want more, you need to become more. And this is so perfect, because you can't get somewhere else by staying where you are. It just doesn't work that way. So, this is to take away. This is to start thinking about. You don't have to put anything in the chat. This is just something for you to take along and to think about between now and next week and ongoing. If you were going to start your core team, a brand new core team from today, take into consideration everything Rui and I have gone through so far, try to identify between 1 and 3 people in your community who could be your core team members. So what awaits you in the core team? And that's going to go on to the next bit there. Basically, it's the things that we're going to do, the key actions you take for success, which include recruitment of new VIPs and brand partners, activation, and developing. And at this point, I can take a deep breath and hand back over to Rui.
Thank you so much, Mary, and I really love hearing you. So I would propose that you just take all of the slides. What do you think?
I know I'm desperate for a cup of tea. You need to know that.
We need a survey. Who wants Mary? Who wants Hui? Don't do that. Yes, I will need you to click the slides for me.
Oh, yes. Did you want to? You can have control back. Here you go.
Can I click it?
In a moment. You can now.
Perfect. Oh, that's me. Perfect. So we'll talk a bit about this first part. So being part of a core team and building your business further is about recruiting, it's about activating, and it's about developing people in your community. So we'll talk a bit about recruiting, and we won't go into full details. There were plenty of boot camps last year. There are plenty of teams that are amazing recruiters, but we do want to address we want to touch a couple of points about recruiting. So the first point, this always takes a bit longer. So it's about the power of attraction, because recruiting, it's not about chasing people. Recruiting, it's about attracting people by building your own personal brand. Basically, what recruiting is about is putting yourself out there in a way that attracts people. Oh, is this me or is this you, Mary?
I think that might be me actually trying to sort of let people in there. So off you go.
Thank you. So, what is personal branding? What are you about? It's about expressing what your uniqueness is, what your views of the world is, and what you think of the world. It's about what makes you stand out from everybody else. We are all unique. Yes, most of us have 2 eyes, 1 nose, 1 mouth, 2 arms, and 2 legs, but all of us are specific and unique, and we have our strengths, we have our developing points, but we have our own view. And building your personal brand is just another way of saying your own personality. Now, you have a personal brand. Each and single one of you that is looking at me right now or listening to me right now has your own personal brand. And you might not really know what it is. It might not be too intentional. It might not be too conscious, but maybe just ask people around you, who am I? How would you characterize me? How would you tell somebody else about Hui? And that will be my personal brand, you know. So it's not about doing something or being something that you're not. It's about conveying yourself, being yourself, and showing that to the world. Because if you try to look and seem something that you're not, it shows. Trust me, it shows. So basically, it's important to be coherent with yourself. And we're bringing in a slide from Meg that we asked Meg to write. Probably most of you know Meg, right? Can you just help me out on the chat or just not? And most of you know that Meg is the mother of a lot of kids. And Meg is amazing, and we can see that. And that is part of her brand. She's what we call a mompreneur. She's a mom that takes her own business and her own life into her hands, and with incredible makeup artists. There you go. So that's why we asked Meg a bit of her opinion and what it is to build this brand around her. So it's about improving recognition. It's about showing who you are and what you offer unique. I will not read the whole text. You can read the whole text. I will just pick up a couple of the points. But it's also very important, and Meg highlights it right here, that it has to be polished and legit. So of course I can have a Facebook picture with a glass of wine or just partying during the night. That's fine. But that's also reflecting part of my personal brand. That's how I'm putting myself out there. So if we're talking about business, then I should be probably not having a glass of wine and partying, but I should seem approachable and I should seem successful and legit, just like Meg puts it. So it's important also that we all understand that oriflame as a brand is a strong asset for you to bring and to attract people, but it's very much also when somebody joins you, those people are joining you because they will know you before they know oriflame. So it's your personality, it's your brand that is out there that is taking the first step, the first part of the attraction. It's about how you are showing yourself out there. Of course, if I talk about oriflame, like, yeah, this is something I like, I've been doing this a few years, I get a couple of pounds every it's not enthusiastic, right? So we have to put out there the love or the passion that we want. And the love and the passion that we have might be over oriflame, but it's above all about your own motivation that we talked in the beginning. So take your motivation, take your personality, and put it yourself out there, because people will join you. You can also build, while you're bringing the core team, you're also building up, you can also build this team brand. It can be a fun exercise to do with your core team members, to come up with a name, with the pictures, to come up with an aesthetics. And we do have several examples of very strong teams in the UK, and several of you make part of those teams. So it's also important that it's something that the team works together, that the team feels pride of, and then to achieve a common goal. So just reading out here, brand is important because it lets you create something that everyone then expects. You distinguish yourself and your brand, and it makes you stand out from the other competitors. It also lets you create that sense of community and togetherness within your team. That's what we mean about personal branding. It's nothing too fancy, nothing too sophisticated. We all have it, and we're just trying to bring up that. So we have a couple of personal brands here. I can see a glam granny coming through. I'm Mom Malicious coming through. We have the Rainbow Warrior. We have the Autism Mom. We have the Nutcracker, and that's all fine. But is that what we'll build? We have the Aura girls coming in. I'm sure that we'll have the goddesses coming in a couple of minutes. And this is what you project out there is what people will connect to, for sure. So your brand is basically what people say about you when you leave the room. So when you leave the room, when people talk about you, what do you want people to say? Be yourself. What do you want people to say? What are you showing yourself out there? So why is it so important? Why are we talking about this? Why is personal brand so important? Because on one hand, it creates the right image. Being aware of the image that we are putting out there, being aware of what we are really putting out there to the world, we must be aware, is that what I want people to remember me by, or is that something different? If it's something different, stay true to yourself, but tweak that image. Tweak your Facebook profile, tweak your Instagram, change your picture. A couple of weeks ago, we had a wave of people changing their Facebook pics, and I loved it, by the way, for those who did it. And that's part of this. I'm sure that you had a trainee that was saying exactly the same that we are saying right here. So check if this is the right image that you want. And basically, your personal brand is also important because it's what will make you stand out. It's what differentiates you from the other people. It's your personality. It's your uniqueness. It's what the power that you have inside of you that you can bring out. It will bring trust, because people will then connect with you. And if you are coherent, if you are consistent, then that will bring trust when other people interact with you. And of course, it can spark interest, because if you show your interests, then people with the same interests, then you'll have a match. And then basically this empathy builds. So if you show yourself, you should show what you're looking for, what you stand for, you will find people that are similar to you, right? And it will also create awareness, of course. It will also build, basically, people will know you by this, and they will know you for a long time, because then it can create a lasting impression over the time. So that's why we are bringing in the lasting impression. That's why we're bringing in the personal brand, And this combines, of course, with the oriflame brand. Because oriflame is about beauty by Sweden, so it's about the way we look, the way we live, not only about the way we look, but about the way we live, feel, and act. It's about being healthy, having a beautiful skin, expressing yourself, and realizing your aspirations, right? That's beauty by Sweden. But when people join, they join you and they join the company. So this mix of your personal brand and the mix of the oriflame brand, then these two work together to bring additional credibility, to be more recognizable, a bit more reputation, trust, and this is the perfect partnership. Of course, if we're talking about sustainability and at the same time you're doing something completely different, that will not match and that will look funny, but I'm sure that you share most of the values with oriflame, with togetherness, spirit, and passion, the sustainability, the love for developing people. That's what brought us here. That's why you made this choice to be here at this time. So when you partner up with oriflame, you partner up with a company that lives by these four attributes. So we are very proud to be progressive, accessible, natural, and trustworthy. So progressive, it's about being curious, being creative, moving forward. It's about striving to find new technologies. It's about striving to find new ways, new products, new shades to develop ourselves and to really develop ourselves as a company, as our beauty offer. About accessibility, because we believe that great things should be available to many. So we are super proud of our products. That's why we have this commitment to have a very good relationship between the price and the quality. We will never be the cheapest, but we will also not be the most expensive, because we want our high quality products to be available to the most that we can. And also the availability of our business plan. That in the UK we have a market where it's fully developed. It's a Western market, but we are present in some markets where the oriflame opportunity can have a huge impact in society, and it has, and it's one of the things that makes me most proud to be in this company, and to be a small part of that good to the world. We are natural because everybody has the right to nature, and we have the responsibility to take care of it. And we are inspired by nature in our products, and we are inspired by nature on the way we do things, and to keep sustainability and high always in our minds. And we are very, very serious about being trustworthy. We always act with integrity. We always act with respect to all people who act with us. So we welcome anybody with all sorts of life. We welcome from any part, and we have to make sure that we provide that we are an honest, reliable, and trustworthy business partner for anybody around. And we do respect any person, regardless of their options, regardless of their background, regardless of their future. We do respect everybody, and that's really, really an intrinsic part of our company. So when we're talking about your personal brand, you don't need to be something that you're not. You just need to be yourself, be conscious, and be consistent with who you are. And we won't go too deep on personal branding, because I would, if you haven't gone through them, I would advise you and suggest that you do. Just go online to our website. Then if you go under training, if I remember correctly, we have the digital bootcamp, and you can find several trainings and videos that we've been doing last year. They're still quite valid. A lot of them with Rachel. I know Rachel is a hit. We all love Rachel. We should have a T-shirt. We love Rachel, and because we did have several things out there about personal branding, so about content creation and engagement, about sharing your story and inviting, and how about following up. Your story is your personal brand, right? Your story is what you're telling people, what you're sharing with people. So that's there are plenty of videos and trainings on that. And this is important because then this building your story and building your personal brand is what will bring you to the invitation part, or what will bring your brand partners into this invitation part. So Mary talked about this discovery events, and we have several pieces of these discovery events already available. We'll kind of redo them, place them with this discovery word, this discovery branding, let's call it, right there, and that will be coming soon. But these discovery events, these are events that are basically focused and targeting the newcomers, people that want to know more, people that want to know our products, people that are interested in business opportunity. They are for prospects, for newcomers, for customers, really just as a first step, and well, maybe not the first, but a second step and a second introduction. And these are a major opportunity for any core team member to leverage the experience from their leader. And we have several teams that do exactly this, that are running opportunity presentations and engaging and bringing in their core team members. It's an opportunity to develop skills, to recruit this team, and also to make a good first impression, and to make sure that the prospects do the right choice or take the right choice, right? So we will have these four, and actually Mary was talking also about the fragrance one. So the oriflame discovery, it's the opportunity discovery for people who want to know a bit more about the company. So we'll talk about the benefits of the oriflame opportunity, how to start up their own business, how to get inspired with success stories, and join the community. You might recognize that we would be talking this on the oriflame opportunity meeting. So this will be the basis for this. We'll be revamping it a bit and bringing it forward. And we will talk on the skincare discovery. It's for people who want to find the right skincare products for their needs. So this can also be called the skincare session, or the skinny beauty session. So it's about learning how the influence of the skin aging, learning about the routine, learning about the products, getting a free diagnostic. Of course, free diagnostic if we're face-to-face, if we're online, maybe through the skin expert app. And it's about finding the right products to your skin. If we're talking about wellness discovery, then we're talking about people that are interested in improving their health, their well-being, maybe even taking care a bit better care of their body. So here we'll talk about the healthy lifestyle. We'll be testing or sharing about the products, getting recipes, meeting people that succeed with wellness and building this wellness community. And when we'll talk about the color discovery, it's for people who are more interested in trends, in makeup, and this expressing yourself. So we'll talk about the latest trends in makeup, trying out the products or talking about the products, getting beauty tips, and finding the perfectly matched foundation or shade of lipstick. It's about, of course, and you will see that in all of these, we always talk about the community. Meeting new people, joining the community, building the community, because our business is a relationship business. Our business is a business not only about taking, but very much about giving and taking and building a better future. That's what we're about. So, of course, it's one way to just throw out the invitations and hopes that somebody picks it up, but it's another way. We should make sure that people will say yes to our own invitations. So a couple of things here. So we should invite people through different methods, because some people are on WhatsApp, some people are on Insta, some people are on Facebook. So just try to target them according to the places they are, people that you meet. Invite people that will be interested in. Don't invite me to a color discovery event. I will not be that interested in a color discovery event, but I will be interested in skincare. Have I told anybody that I'm using the retinol? Look at that. I will be interested in the oriflame opportunity. So match the event, match the people that you invite for a certain event. Make sure that they are interested too. Don't spam everybody that just join me. No, just be sure that you have an added value. Be sure that when you're building these invitations, you're building their relationship, and you take their own interests into consideration. And then show added value. What do I get when I join your event? What do I get when I join your Zoom? What will I get? Is it beauty tips? Is it health tips? Is it a skincare diagnostic? Is it learning more about something? What do I get as an invitee? So that's all that I've been talking about. So I've been talking, not clicking away. So this is basically what I've been talking about. Sorry about this, guys. So some of the examples. So this invitation. Hi, Wendy. It can be about you, Wendy, but hello. I loved your post about your workout yesterday. I can see you've been posting a lot about your exercise routine lately. You definitely seem a person who's interested in a healthy lifestyle. I'm attending a wellness discovery event and was wondering if you'd like to join me. You get to learn more on supplements, learn new healthy recipes and exercise, and meet people who can share your interests. You can't miss it. It will be a lot of fun. Really hope to see you there. So this is an example. And what we're doing here, we're being personal when we start the conversation with the name, bringing up what we saw, the engagement with these people. It's just not a random invitation that we send to anybody. We're building this relationship. We're addressing what they are interested in. Wendy apparently is quite interested in the exercise, so that's where we have to recognize that. We have to give that value to then get her interest. And we have to show added value, because she will learn about the borscht supplements, learn healthy recipes, meet people who share her interests, and we have a call to action. You can't miss it. Really hope to see you there. Because if we don't have a call to action, then it's just good intentions. Wendy, are you joining? Well, that's good. I can see you there. And for another example, hi Thomas. Do we have a Thomas here? Hi Thomas. I can see you're a member of Opportunities to Work from Home Facebook group. There are many possibilities to work remotely these days. I found the perfect match for me 3 months ago, and you might find it interesting too. I'm attending an oriflame discovery event where all the details about the business will be explained. I can put you on the invitation list if you would like to join me. Come and see for yourself how it works. So we are again being personal with Thomas. We are again addressing what he's interested in, and we're showing the added value that we'll have all the details, and we are giving him a call to action. So these are, of course, some examples, and of course, each one of you has its own personal brand. Each one of you has its personal voice. Each one has its own personal tone, and this should be your own personalized invitation, but these are some of the examples. So your personal brand comes very much into play when we're talking about inviting people to events. And these days, they are usually online events. So tips for inviting: create a compelling invitation, be personal with these people, use visuals, highlight the benefits, and make sure that it's proofread, check your grammar, and highlight the benefits to the attendees. Whenever we are engaging in a conversation, whenever we want somebody to tell us yes to something, we have to think, we have to put ourselves in the shoe of the other person. And the other person will be asking herself, what's in this for me? What's in it for me? So if I'm talking to you, my question is, what's in it for you? So that's why sometimes I'm diverging here from the slides, because I'm trying to add up a couple more things that might be of use. So this is always important. It's also a good tip to share the feedback of other people that have participated in the past. It's really important to make them feel comfortable to join you, either online, offline when we can, so you can encourage them to bring their friends. Call or text and get a confirmation. So just don't send invitation and expect them that they will come. Just follow up and make sure that you get a confirmation, and maybe create a WhatsApp or Messenger group for those who have confirmed the attendance. And above all, whenever you're having an event, whenever you're planning to do something, remember to have fun. This is halfway to success in any event. If you enjoy the event, people will enjoy it with you. If it's just a burden for you, if you're doing it because you have to do it, people will pick that up and it won't be fun. And so it's important when you're planning the events to create this activity calendar. Otherwise, we will just be doing this and doing that and doing that, and we're just going all circles all around. So we have two kinds of leaders and consultants in oriflame. And this is how we distribute the work and the tasks across the catalog. We have the Last Second Sally. So Last Second Sally talks to people, does random things here and there, and then by week 3, she looks at her numbers and she says, oops, now it's time to call people. And now it's time to reach out to inactives. Now it's time to reach out to the people that I sent messages a long time ago, people that I don't remember anymore. Now it's time to go all over and call, and try to get an order. But people, they look through this. They understand what's happening. If I only get a call every 3 weeks, I know exactly what you're thinking about. It's not about empowering me, it's about getting your VPs. So people look through this. And in the end, it's an added stress, both for Last Second Sally, but for her customers, it's an added stressful event for her brand partners, for all managers. So there is no need. These 3 weeks are there. There's the cycle. There is no need to do everything on those last 3 days. And thank God in UK we don't, in general. And then we have Perfect Planner Pam. Where's Perfect Planner Pam?
I'm here.
Yeah, I know. I'm just trying to get you.
I'm not sure I like Perfect Planner Pam, though. I think that's stretching it just a little bit.
I've been right. This was the slide we got from Stockholm. This is the Perfect Planner. Is the one that plans those 3 weeks, basically. We're doing catalog launches, sharing what's new in the catalog, sharing the new offers, reaching out for inactives and newcomers from the start. We have in each one of your teams, there's plenty of different people who are inactives, who are waiting to place their first order, who are waiting to come back. So we can spread those contacts all across the catalog. We don't really need to do it on the last time. So if we just plan our activities, that's so much smoother. And what happens with Perfect Planner Pam is that she's been doing this whole work during the whole time, and then when it comes to the end of the catalog, she has time to make sure that she follows up with everybody, to make sure that everybody is fulfilling their own targets. And she's not only stressing and panicking about her own target, but she's also giving out to the team. And that will be then when people really engage and then duplicate and develop. So just take these 4 points in your hand. Just plan ahead an activity calendar. Just make sure that you start moving towards high activity percentage so that you get brand partners to be active and place their orders, and VIP customers to place their orders from day one of the campaign. Don't wait until the last week. Work on improving that activity, work on engaging with people throughout the campaign cycle, and don't leave it to the last day of the catalog. So these 4 points, they're all saying exactly the same thing. You can plan and run, and we don't have to be stressful. Oriflame is not about stress. We have a lot of stressful situations out there. We have a whole pandemic around us. So if we can plan ourselves, so you can remove that pressure from us, just follow off the plan. Of course, there are planners that are people that are planning more, planning less, more spontaneous, more. It's all according to your own personality way of doing, but don't just try to wing it. So the activity planner is also very important, so your core team has a clear system to work during the campaign. They have a system that they can expect. A calendar will help you manage time, will help involve the core team in the activities, and it's just easier for them to duplicate. Because if they don't know what to expect, they will be just waiting for you to tell them, right? So it's not how we want people. So it's important to know when you're planning your calendar for the next catalog, what campaign closing dates, what are the trainings activities the company is doing, or what are the product launches, what are your leaders doing, your uplines doing, what are the offers and programs, your current qualifications, weekends and holidays, and your personal life. So the first thing that goes into your agenda for the calendar, for the catalog, is you. Because it's about your family, it's about your life, it's about work around your life and don't live around your work. That's not what we want. We're building it this year. And this sentence, it's beautiful and it's not mine. It was Mary that told me this like 2 hours ago. Work around your life, not the other way around. So we bring in just here an example. Sorry. So just one small example. So we have 3 weeks in the calendar, right? Each catalog is 3 weeks, and we plugged in here a couple of different activities. So we put as a couple of examples here this discoveries events. So we have discovery events on Wednesdays. We have discovery event there on Friday. It can be a Tuesday. It can be on Monday. If it suits you best, it's on the same day of the week. If it doesn't, it's on different days. If you do it on the weekend, that's fine. We didn't put any. This is just an example, and what it will suit you best, it will suit you best. But it's important that we take time to prospect and recruit. So this is where we're engaging with other people to become VIPs or to become brand partners. And then you can also see these business planning sessions. So this is when you take time with your core team or if you're part of your manager's core team, that will take time for that, to plan activities. What are the planning activities? What are your planned targets? What do you want to achieve? And then do it on the beginning of the campaign and just have a midway catch up. Some of you will call it coaching sessions. Some of you will call it planning sessions. Some of you will call it business sessions. That's the concept. Just get together, look at the catalog, look at the 3 weeks ahead. What are we going to do? What are the plans and what are the targets? And what do we need to get there? And then on top of that, there are plenty of activities that can be done. And we've included some of them. And of course, it's really up to each one of you what to pick up and what to do and what to incorporate. So we know that on Fridays, it's right, first day of the catalog. So it's the perfect timing to do the campaign closing follow-up with all the community. Starting to congratulate people, starting to get familiar with what happened in the previous catalog. Launch the catalog to your team, involve them from the start, and start planning oriflame social posting, because your social media presence is your personal brand that is out there. So start planning the catalog during this first weekend. And then first week, it's about recognizing people, bringing energy to your team, following up with these newcomers, and bringing up some training elements. Now, trainings, they don't need to be boring trainings with PowerPoint slides. These can be trainings from the Oriflame Academy. These can be lives. These can be demonstrations of the skincare routine, of the makeup. These can take any different forms. And then we do exactly the same thing again on the second week with trainings, with motivating these people in your core team or not, or people that you're engaging with. And finally, we come up to Thursday when we close up and we join the company Zoom campaign closing. Because who doesn't like animals, right? I can see Pam there. She's just going, oh my God, he did it again. But one of the most important things, so here we are focusing on bringing people in with the discovery event, where we are dealing with business planning and developing people and having this focus on the targets. But what about those who are not the newcomers? What about those who are already in our team? So if we open the front door of our business to the newcomers, we should close our back door to those who joined us but are then leaving because they're not placing an orders. So the recommendation is that reach out to inactives. You can find them on the mobile office. You can find them on the business app. You can find them always on your phone to contact them. So our recommendation usually is reach out to inactives too on your first week. Take 15 minutes every single day, or take 10, or take half an hour, or take 2 hours, up to you, and go for inactives 2. Then second week, go for inactives 3. Third week, go to inactives 1. And in the meantime, you will engage with these people. And we say this because inactives 1 are the ones who are more likely to place an order this catalog. So you can leave them to the end. You can follow up how it was. In the meantime, if they place an order, you probably already congratulated them on that. And then if you go from the start with 2, 3, and 1, so it's generally accepted as more productive. So I'm talking a lot here about these events and doing and building and this and that, but I know it's been it's already almost 2 hours. Well, 1 hour and 50, right? So it's also important to give a personal example of somebody that is bringing in these events, part of a big team, part of a very successful team, also to bring her a view. So our lovely, perfect planner, Pam, the floor is yours.
Thank you. Wow, so much to take in, guys, isn't there? And lots of really useful information. So I want to just give you a little bit of food for thought. Now, what I'm going to share with you now is how we run our business. It may be slightly different for individual teams, and you may have your own spin on this, but I just want to give you a flavour of how we get, I guess, a successful campaign planned out. So we do a number of events, if you like. So the first thing I start every campaign with is Zooms with all my directors, whether they're coaching calls, business planning, whatever you decide to call them. We call them coaching calls. And really the purpose of those calls is to get a good, clear understanding of what that team, what that leader is, building and growing for the campaign ahead. And then looking at what the individual teams within that need, how they're tracking it, how they're going to hit those levels, and making sure that they have the support they need, because people need different levels of support depending on how fast they want to go. Then on top of that, so I do my director Zooms predominantly on the Friday, some on the Saturday, first day of campaign, maybe the Saturday if there's an overspill, just because of fitting in around other people's commitments. And then every Friday, the start of a campaign, we have what we call our mastermind group. So it's senior team manager and above in our business. And this is really where we plan and share ideas, because a lot of what happens very successfully in our business certainly doesn't come from Ian and I. There are some people in our business with phenomenal ideas, and they just come with the idea, and then as a team we kind of work through how we can make that work and make it duplicatable and simple for everybody. But also we assign tasks, if you like, because I don't want to be the person that's doing every training in the business, and it's not because I'm lazy, but I believe to empower and inspire other people, you have to get them taking baby steps. And it might be, so-and-so is going to do a testimonial or a book review or share something that they've done differently in the last campaign to see growth. So we kind of map out what's going to happen in the 3 weeks of Zooms and kind of identify. I say to the team it's our victims, but I mean our potential brand partners that we're going to help develop on. So we plan that out, and then those planning sessions almost become how we plan how we're going to launch, how we're going to run any incentives. So if we've got a new product launch and we want to do a team challenge to drive sales around it, we will plan what we're going to do around that. And then a lot of that work is spread out amongst all the team managers and above in the business, so that, again, everybody is feeling that they are valued and they can also have their say in how things work. Then we do some weekly team Zooms. So Monday night every week we do an induction for new brand partners. We also plug people into the first Tuesday of the month, where the fabulous Mary does the new brand partner introduction to the company. And then we do a Monday night training, what I call nuts and bolts training, where, again, it's a little bit about, they're run by the directors, not myself. I chip in and cause chaos. But they inspire, excite, and deliver training. But training is typically interactive, little 10, 15-minute buzzy training, so that people go away a little bit excited and fired up about what they're going to do in the campaign. And it's really about making it so simple that people go, if I want to achieve X in this campaign, what do I need to do every day to do that from a sales point of view? And if I want to bring in one new brand partner, what do I need to do in terms of activity? So it's those kind of things we focus on. On the Friday evening after campaign kicks off, we do a recognition awards night, as we call it. We stream it live into a Facebook group. Everybody comes on and does a little bit of interaction. We do a little bit of prize giveaway, and we recognise everybody from welcome rewards through to the highest title promotion that we've had, because everybody gets their little spotlight and we can tell a little fun fact for that person. So we're also building the community and the togetherness within the business, so that people who maybe are in my central business get to know people who are in one of my other leaders' central business. So again, so that we're one big team rather than lots of businesses within, the overall. We absolutely love that we have twice weekly, we have an opportunity Zoom, so on a Sunday evening and a Wednesday evening every week. And again, this is quite often where myself and maybe some of the other leaders or people that are developing and growing will share testimonials as part of our opportunity Zoom. Again, it's about getting people on board that want to join the business, so they'll look at it as presented to them in a professional, friendly way, but also to get people good at telling their story. So they get a little opportunity to tell their story rather than me saying, well, this is Mary and Mary is such and such. People can tell their own story as well. So again, that's something that we develop and we grow through time. So we do that on a Sunday and a Wednesday, which means that people who make their name bank list and they think, oh, they'd be really good at our business. You know, they're always doing great makeup selfies. They're always doing product promotions. And they think, I'd really like them in my business. And then they go, oh, I don't know how to approach them. Panic sets in and they do nothing. So we say, hey, listen, don't worry. Just get good at inviting them and we'll present the business. So again, a chance to grow the team and get the duplication in the recruitment going as well. And then we have our recruiting Zoom, and we do this together as, you know, for those of you that know us, we're part of the Vista Group. We do the Vista Group. So Craig has a Vista Group recruiting Zoom on a Wednesday, and Craig looks after 1 week, Claire looks after 1 week, and I look after 1 week. And basically what we do is we come together. Again, we get lots of people involved on the evening that you're doing, but we want to teach people this core skills, but also share success and inspire people, because Jackie mentioned at the beginning about the squiggle. When people are on that bit of the squiggle, they need the meeting. When they're on this bit of the squiggle, the meeting needs them, because we want to share the stories so that other people can say, wow, you know, wow. And my job while I'm farming all this work out, so that if everybody thinks, what does she actually do? My job is actually to help be a talent spotter. Who in those legs of business has got that potential that they want to be part of that core team? They want to start running rather than maybe, you know, walking briskly or walking slowly, because we have them all. So that's kind of how we structure things as a leader. And a lot of that happens at the beginning, but there's weekly top-ups for everybody. So as they go through the squiggle, they've got us in a position where we can dust them down and put them back up. But of course, it doesn't stop there. I am still a brand partner myself, so I've got to do a bit of work. So this is why I share the workload. So things that I would personally do is always host an online launch party for the catalogue. So my regular customers, incentivize them to bring a friend, you know, advertise it in my VIP customer group, even for people that are prospective customers rather than actually made a purchase, so that we bring them to show them the very best of the launches, especially when new products come online. I did a little bit of quick learning on Proceuticals so that I could quickly, you know, be able to tell people how fabulous it was. So Rui, I'm delighted to hear you're using it. Then I book in things like a Scandi Beauty session or skincare consultation via Zoom. Again, I tend to mix it up a bit. I do regular lives into my VIP customer group, so I'm in there twice a week so that people get to see me. They get to see the good me, and they also get to see the crazy I've not done my hair and I'm not wearing any makeup me. So it kind of keeps it real. And these are people that I've got to know, you know, again, a lot of them have become friends more than just customers. Always have a flash sale in the middle week, because I always think people, in our business, we quite often see people start fast and then there's a big flurry at the end in that middle week. So I always find a flash sale means my sales bounce up in that middle week as well. And then, of course, last chance to buy. I absolutely am like Rui. I like a little bit of excitement in the last week, but I like it to be that people are being stretched rather than they're fighting with tooth and nail to try and hit the goals that they set. So I always recommend that the team book in like a last chance to buy. And, you know, we've got some phenomenal results from online events, and that the girls are far better than I am at doing. But yeah, that's kind of how we make the campaign happen. And in the daytime, we actually do the work.
Thank you so much, Pams. Thank you so much. And you're the living proof, being a diamond director, that you have a full-time job and you're still you're on top of that. You have oriflame, so that's why it's calendars work around our own life. That's fabulous. Thank you so much for this, Pam. So now what? It's now, according to my computer, 7:59 p.m. And so what are the next steps for this training, Mary? Please guide us through it.
Okay, for this, right, until next week, we're going to set up some activities and quizzes online for you to follow. So watch out for these from the beginning of next week. You can download and follow them. And they're just developed to follow up on what we've done today and so forth, and just a couple of quizzes and what have you. So in here, so what we've got here is the complete formula for getting lucky. It's all about preparation, making the person good, attitude, all about your mindsets and your belief, your opportunity, a good thing coming your way, we will have to have that, and action is what you do about it. It all adds up to being good luck, not really. So sort of very successful people tend to have a lot of good luck going on from at some point in time or another. So do that. People watch out. We'll let you know. Pop up a note to Facebook and what have you to say when they're there. And then also, we're giving you some homework. So not just a few quizzes and what have you. It's a case of create a preliminary activity calendar. And it will be very different for wherever you are in the business at this moment in time and what you're doing. It might be just for you. You know, you may not yet have a team. You might be in that process and what have you, but you need to allocate the time for doing that. So above all, remember to put the important stuff, which is your life stuff. So again, it's like work around your life. Don't live around to work. It's not that way around. It's really important. So football clubs, movie nights. If you don't want to do Saturdays and Sundays, block out Saturdays and Sundays. If you don't want, you need to do school runs. If you want to block out every single afternoon and only do your stuff in the morning, so long as you plan it that way, and therefore you can apply your work time that way, that's perfect. And then remember to pop in all the stuff that you're going to attend, that you're going to action, that you're going to do. And then if you don't know how to do it, plan it in the calendar anyway, and speak to your sponsor, speak to your leader, and say, I want to. I've done this, I want to do this thing. How can we do this? And they'll sort of set the calendar for it. So remember us on our Zooms, remember your teams on their Zooms, and remember to contact with your customers, you know, sort of start on that. So basically, worrying about talking to brand partners, talk to your customers. It's all the same thing, just works up in a big bundle to different groups of people. Plan what trainings you're going to attend, plan to recruit. Honestly, if you want to go somewhere, if you want to move up the success plan, you have to plan to recruit and plan to attend business planning sessions with your upline and what have you. Okay, so that's it for this month. That's your homework. So we will put this up online. I'll take a quick photograph of it now, but we will pop it up online. But what we will be doing is we are going to be sorting out some, that slide went, did it go away? We are going to be sorting out some handouts that go alongside this presentation. It will not be the whole presentation. As you've seen, there's one or two slides actually involved in it. So what we're going to do is do a few highlight slides, a few bits and pieces, put it on a PDF and put it out for you so you can actually pick up the pertinent parts and be ready for next week. So until then, thank you so much for giving up 2 hours of your time. I can't believe we've finished that close to being dead on 2 hours.